So the first newsletter is here. Yay, and we start with the best news there is. All the marketing budgets for 2023 have been cut. Lowered marketing budgets for 2023 have wreaked havoc in the marketing world in these past few weeks. Marketers are desperately trying to figure out how to adapt to the new situation. But the recession is actually an opportunity to improve and optimize your marketing efforts, resulting in better results both for marketers themselves as well as the company. In this newsletter, you'll learn what the impacts of a lower marketing budget might be, how to make the most of the situation, and I'll even share an exercise to help you find your problem solution fit so you can come out on top. In reality, the recession is an opportunity, a time to optimize your marketing efforts, making your marketing profitable, and eliminating the competition in the process. So, listen on to understand how you can do more with less. Now, the first question that we have is, should you cut your marketing spend during a recession? Maybe cutting the marketing budget isn't even your decision. Maybe, here you are, what's done is done. The budgets were cut and you're trying to figure out how to save a sinking boat that's leaking water. Maybe you have some influence over the budget, in which case you'll want to know whether, the cuts are actually appropriate or a mistake. And you could argue budget cuts both ways, right? In an ideal world, you should never cut the marketing budget. Marketing is bringing in clients, leads, business, people that leave actual money in your company. Why would you want less of that? When you receive $2 for every buck that you spent in marketing, you want to spend every dollar that you have because you're getting $2 back, right? But we don't live in a perfect world. And because of attribution problems, because of tracking problems, because of changing algorithms, because of failed marketing campaigns, marketing isn't always profitable.
What he say?
For a company, where marketing is an expense, perhaps cutting that expense in time of instability is quite fair. If you're getting 40 cents out of every dollar, you want to, you have a problem and you want to cut that expense. It might even be necessary to save the company. The issue is cutting the marketing budget isn't a long-term strategy. Because let's take a look at what happens when you lower the marketing budget in the long term. Obviously, if you don't change the way you work, the lowered marketing budget will just cause you to lose some leads, to lose customers. It will cause you to lose awareness as well, because you will basically be able to do less than what you did last year, for example. That multiplies over time, because you lose the organic word of mouth as well. Basically, you lose the referrals. Fewer people in your product, fewer people talk about your product, fewer people recommend your product, talk about it to friends. You get the idea. So basically, the less people that you have in your product, the less people talk about it. And you lose that organic word of mouth marketing as well. In the long run, that means that competitors who know how and where to place their budgets will most likely get larger market share, pushing you off to the side.
Oh, hell no!
Because you now have a lower budget, you can prevent this in one way and one way only, by focusing on organic efforts. See, there are generally always two ways of attracting customers, paid or organic. And let me drastically oversimplify that for you. Paid is faster. It means we set up free Facebook campaigns, 5 ad groups per campaign, and then, tons of ads, different images, and so on. In testing, we find that X works best, so let's go with that. The problem is that the X stops working after 2 weeks because of algorithm changes, so we need to repeat that process, constantly finding new ways of spending money to attract clients. This leads to marketing campaigns and overspending because sometimes marketing campaigns don't work because of poor timing and so on. So it basically guarantees you losing money over time.
What do you mean? I have $100.
Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
Organic, on the other hand, it's slower, it takes time. Often we try to tackle it the same way that we tackle paid marketing. We figure out the content strategy, we create a nice social media calendar, we prepare posts, we put extra care in finding, just the right image for that post, and then we publish these posts. People don't engage with our posts. We get 5 likes and maybe 1 comment for all of our efforts, which leads to us confidently telling everybody that wants to listen to us how digital marketing, social media marketing, and other marketing channels are all dead and Facebook is a waste of our time, right? In the last few years, companies used paid advertising a lot. There was tons of money out there in the market, leading to companies taking bigger risks in ad spend. Obviously, with a reduced marketing budget, you need to focus on organic more, which, takes work. Let's take a practical example of that. A month ago, a sales agency approached me, offering a system of appointment setters for my service. The way it works is they get 1 to 3 people, train them to sell my service, and then basically I use these people to generate leads. I pay an upfront for the training, a fixed monthly fee, and a commission on every sale. Fair enough, right? It's a legit choice. The sellers sell, I work on projects, everybody's happy. Now what happens when I want to expand? I need to hire another me so we can do more projects at once. I need another positioning strategist, right? Next, I need to add another seller, upping my cost of running my business. Basically, I become an agency. There is a problem. If something changes in the market, let's say, an economic downturn happens, or I go on a holiday and I don't want to work on projects for a few months, I still need to pay the sellers. I need to either pay them or fire them. Not a pleasant choice to have.
It reminds me of when my dad made me choose which of my pet calves to slaughter with my own hands for my 6th birthday. I couldn't choose, so I slaughtered both of them. And they were delicious.
Now let's say the market crashes and I need to fire the sellers because of a lower marketing budget. What's my alternative? How can I solve my budget problem yet not lose the amount of leads that I get? In my example, I can build a funnel. I prepare my lead magnet, that leads to my training video, that leads to a sales call, some email marketing to warm the clients up. I can schedule 10 calls a month, closing 7 of them because, if my funnel works correctly, they're hot leads. What happens when I want more customers? I just put my more money into advertising that lead magnet, so more people come through the funnel. What happens when I want to go on vacation? Well, I just turn off advertising, saving money while I'm not working. The market changes, I change the lead magnet, adjust the funnel. I have practically no fixed cost whatsoever, except maybe a couple of $50 per month subscriptions. And yes, you guessed it, this eventually leads to product-led growth. Now that I have people in my funnel, I can easily switch my offer, which is a high-ticket consulting offer, to a product such as do-it-yourself course. And you have the beginnings of a product-led model. Now for this to work, in fact, for both of these paths to really work without overspending in marketing, you need to build your foundations. Businesses need to be built, and building them requires strong foundations. Without the strong foundations, you're leaking money out of holes that you left open while skipping early steps. And a big part of these foundations is the problem-solution fit. You need to understand your customer's problem and craft the perfect solution for that problem so they respond to your product. In the next part of the video, let's look at how to do that. How to get the most out of your organic marketing. You see, people at the moment don't respond to your marketing campaigns, to your lead magnets, to your cold emails, because the messages that you put out there do not trigger your customers. We are overloaded with information, and to get someone who doesn't know you to actually read something that you wrote, you need to get their attention.
But Andrei, we have shouted all sorts of controversial topics at our customers, and they still don't react. Do they even care?
That's exactly the problem with marketing today. We don't know how to stand out, so we try shouting. We try to be controversial. We put, red font on black backgrounds, trying to desperately to get someone's attention. But that's exactly how these efforts appear to our customers. Desperate. Standing out doesn't mean shouting. It means getting their attention by being super specific about their problems and how we can solve them. Yeah, you guessed it. By niching down, by nailing your messaging, by focusing your attention on one problem you can solve for your customer, you can improve your marketing efforts. Not by 1%, not by 10%. I mean, you can really change your game. Now, how do we do that? How do we focus? How to reduce what you spend on marketing without losing results. During my positioning workshop, the first thing we look at with the clients is the product foundations. The section is all about finding problem solution fit, meaning finding one problem that's actually painful enough for the customer that your solution actually solves and makes the pain go away. I do this part of the workshop in 3 stages, which takes about 3 hours, but here is a quick exercise that you can do right now to find out what problem you should focus on. So step number 1, jot down all the problems your solution solves. Really try to figure out what problems your solution is good at solving. Try to have a customer in mind when doing that. What problems do they have? Where do they need help? Got the list? Good. Let's move on to step 2. How do your customers explain their problems? Now write about the problems as seen by the customers. Now this might be the same as what you just wrote in step 1, but it might be completely different as well. Let me explain. In step 1, I would write problems like, my positioning framework helps customer lower the cost of user acquisition and improve conversion rates. My clients usually come to me with a completely different problem in mind. We need to redo the website because our sales are poor and we're not getting enough leads. Same thing, right? Not exactly. I talk about conversion rates, but the client talks about poor sales and not getting enough leads. The result is the same. Because the client doesn't get enough leads and has low conversion rates, this results in poor sales. But my client might not know what his conversion rates are and whether they are good or bad. He just knows his sales suck. If I published a post that says improve your conversion rates, this client, although actually needing my help, wouldn't be interested because he defines the problem as poor sales, not poor conversion rates. I know we are arguing semantics, but in this case, semantics might be what attracts the client to respond to your post and trying your solution. Now that you get the point, try to go back and think about the problems your customers first mentioned to you. If you don't know the answers here, you have 2 options. You can catch these answers inside your product with a quick question in the onboarding process, like, why are you here? What's your pain? What's your problem? The second option is you can do user interviews with your target clients and ask them about their problems. Yeah, I know, you're gonna go with the first option, right? You can compare the lists and choose the one problem that's the most painful for the customer that your solution can solve rather well. Simple, right? Focusing on the problem. Our solution helps X achieve Y. Is your problem solution fit? It means that your solution solves one specific problem for your customer. You're not now much closer to niching down. Focus your marketing efforts around that problem and offer potential customers your solution. See what happens. With time, your marketing efforts should organically improve. You can use those posts that really work well, push them to get even more attention, yet always staying under your marketing budget to keep your boss happy. That way you can be the competitor that has his shit together and uses the economic downturn to attract more clients with a lower marketing budget. So there you go. These are the 3 steps you need to achieve problem solution fit, which will help you organically grow and improve your marketing efforts in 2023. Do the exercise, find your problem solution. If you need my help, there is a link at the bottom of the email. You can schedule a call. The call is free. And as always, may your customers love you and understand you.